Yeah. So the first question I want to ask you is I want to take you back to your first period, and if you could paint me a picture, like how old were you? Who was around you? Do you remember like where you were, what you were wearing? Can you remember any of the details?
Well, most of what I can remember is more than a year before I started my first period, I was already every month feeling the symptoms like having a period, but not bleeding. So that was really annoying, basically. But we know it was coming up. And then I got this the terrible cramp at school, and well, I of course knew what it was because it happened every month.
Mhm.
But then the bleeding started, so I got home not surprised at all because at home we talked about getting your first menstruation and stuff like that. So, um, but yeah, my mother was really really happy for me. I wanted to tell everybody, well, not everybody, but the family, and have cake and stuff like that. And all I wanted to do was just be. Yes, I wanted a cake, and yes, I wanted to have hot chocolate or tea with her, but I didn't feel the need to tell anybody.
Mm.
But I also understand, especially later when our girl got her first period, that you're really sort of proud. Not that it's your accomplishment or anything, but it's such a gift that you have given also that um, gift to your little girl.
Mm.
So hindsight, I understand her. At the moment, it was way too much.
Yeah. And how old were you?
Ooh, let me see. That was, I think I was 15. I wasn't really early. I was 15.
Okay. Yeah. And then you said we're talking about we. So that meant your mom, and did you have any brothers and sisters?
No, I don't have any brothers and sisters. It's
Okay.
just me, my mom, and my dad.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, my mom felt like she wanted to tell the whole world. So it
Yeah.
felt like really big. It actually wasn't. It was just my mom and my dad. But it almost felt like she wanted to shout it off the top of the roofs to everybody. And I was like, no, no, please not. It's embarrassing enough to have this and to deal with it. Not everybody needs to know.
Yeah. And then what about your dad? How did you feel about your dad knowing, or what was his reaction?
I didn't feel the need for him to know, but well, my mom, of course, told him. Um, and he reacted really, in my opinion, really normal to it. Like, okay, good to know you have this now too, and grateful that I was healthy in that way. And that was basically it.
Okay.
It was a congratulations, but like not as over the top as my mom's.
Yeah. I'm actually really surprised that this story is coming out. Like I know I don't know you, but I've just heard little snippets of what you've said about your parents, just like little, just the tiniest things. You remember when you said in your video about the women, and you
Yeah,
said that women are competitive, and you got taught that as a belief from your mom. And I think another snippet was you felt, I think, if I remember correctly, that you were brought up masculine. Is
I
that,
was,
but,
and
but
I do feel the contradiction when I'm telling this, but
yeah,
this was this feminine part that I think basically for my mom was this sign I gave birth and life to a healthy young woman
yeah.
more than it was for her celebrating womanhood. It's more a how do you call it? A sign of me being healthy at that moment.
Okay. But still,
More of an
how did that impact you? You know, like you had a positive reaction from your parents. So how do you think that impacted your relationship with your period as you went on?
that reaction was really in contradiction with all the rest, because yeah, she was happy for me having my period, because it meant I was healthy. But when the period came around, it was like, okay, it's an inconvenience, and just do like normal.
Okay.
So it's there, deal with it, and go on. Continue like nothing is happening. And yeah, here are your pads, here are your tampons, and let's not talk about it. It's there, we know, we're happy that's there, because it means that that part of your body is healthy.
Okay.
But keep going straight, and we're not doing anything different. It's just a period. It's really healthy.
Yeah.
Every healthy woman has that. So
I understand now. I understand. Oh, that's very interesting, isn't it? And so, okay, so then how were that attitude of just get on with it, it's an inconvenience, how did that then shape your relationship to your period?
well, that made me basically see my period as an annoying thing, because I was a really active girl and always really sporty. And well, I remember every 4 weeks during my training for my field hockey, my period would start. And I would have these really bad cramps, but we're playing rather high, so we had to push through everything, and it was just really inconvenient. And as that was also basically what my mom told me, that's how I've seen it for a great deal of time. I basically started more acknowledging basically the wonders of femininity and having the period when I had my first child.
Okay. And how old were you then? What age
I
were you?
was 30.
30, yeah.
Yeah.
And then how did that change come in? What happened?
Well, yeah. What happened was when our oldest saw the tampons and the pads, he was just curious and asking about it. And I thought of a way to tell him what was happening. And I came to this realization, well, basically, the womb is a room for the baby to grow up. And when that's not occupied, it needs to be cleaned every month. And that's basically what's happening. And that's how I told him. And that made me realize that that is basically what is happening. And I sort of embraced the wonder of it. But at that time, I was not mentally really stable. So I had to go through that as well. And so it took me some time to get to a place where I was mentally stable and enjoyed my period.
Yeah. And then so in your 40s, how do you think your relationship was to your period then?
I'm more and more going to cyclic living, basically becoming more and more witchy with the seasons. And the period started to combine with that, and it's more a surrendering to what is, rather than planning it out like with the calendar you're making with the circle instead of the box.
Yeah.
It's not a planning thing. It's just, okay, what is it I need now? And then realizing, oh, but wait a minute. Yeah, that's what my cycle is telling me. And be it the moon cycle, the womb cycle, or the seasonal cycle. There are so many cycles in our lives.
Yeah.
That for me, it's just going with the flow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how I came to surrender it. And I realized that how toxic it is that we talk about our period as women like it is this burden. And I realized I had been doing that for a real long time myself. But it's actually something so beautiful that we should embrace it.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, I totally agree. I think there's more gifts behind it than just giving birth. Yeah,
Yes, of course,
yeah,
definitely, yeah.
true gift. And so when you were growing up, did you know when your mum was on her period at all?
Oh, growing up, like, ooh, let me see. Well, not really long, because she was in her menopausal period quite quick after I started my period, and before that I wasn't really paying attention to it as much.
Yeah.
Of course, there is these remarks, oh, you're probably on your period, right, when you're a bit grumpy.
Mm-hmm.
But not something I noticed of her. What she preached, like telling me to push through it, is what she did basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like I saw her in cramps in bed or anything like that. No.
And then what about in menopause? Did you know when she was in menopause at all?
Yep. There were a lot of hot flashes, really a lot, and she was really irritable.
Mm-hmm.
What I really am really grateful for, that's something I've been afraid that would happen to me, but earlier on, but as I started shifting my process and being grateful to this period being there, and then the menopause setting in, I could release some of that fear.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, I have my hot flashes and my irritability,
Yeah.
but not to the extent that I remember of my mom.
Okay. Mm.
And I'm glad it's not, because menopause is quite a long period for me.
Yeah.
But I'm still not sure I'm through it yet. So
And did your mum take anything for that? Or
no, we're talking about like 30 years ago.
okay, yeah.
I mean, there was nothing to do. Yeah, it's menopause.
Are
Deal
you
with it.
taking anything, any supplements or anything?
Well, I do take supplements, but not especially for this, but I do take supplements that contribute to hormone balance,
Yeah.
but not for this instance. It's just good for anything hormonal, not just the menopausal stuff.
Yeah.
But I do sometimes, when I feel I have a lot of hot flashes, take extra dose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that helps you?
That helps me, yeah.
Yeah.
And I generally don't mind having a little bit of a hot flash. But when it continues over and over, I do take something extra. And well, if I'm too late or I don't recognize it, like I think it was Tuesday, well, it takes me out. It really takes me out. I just have to go in at that moment and hope be ready again to get up in an hour. But most times it's, well, it's I'm out and see you next morning.
Yeah. Yeah, but obviously your body's talking to you, you know, and you might actually need that rest and that reconnect. And it's obviously saying something to you, because when you look at it, when you have a period as well, and if you're in such extreme pain, so you have to hide from the world, you have to retreat, you have to curl up in a ball. Like, what is that pain wanting to tell you? You know, so it's yeah. So have you gone in and when you're in that, like gone in and asking your body, like, what do you want to tell me? What's coming up? What do I need to know?
Yeah, I usually do that, but like this week with what we're dealing with in our family,
Yeah.
I totally went into my head and out of my body basically, and went straight for it. And then it's there. It's not like it's normally it's sort of announcing itself, and I can act accordingly. But this time it was just wham, there it was, and it was really like seconds before we went to the dinner table, and I was out there on the couch like, okay, I have to get myself to the dinner table. And that's what I did. And I did eat something, and then I said to Hans, I'm out. I'm off to bed.
Yeah, but obviously with what's going on is taking an emotional toll on your
Yeah,
like on your body, on your soul, on your spirit, on your emotions, and yeah,
yeah.
you needed that time. So
I needed that time, and it's not like I'm blaming myself or anything, but
no.
no, it's just that I think, oh yeah, of course,
Mm,
it's hitting that hard because I wasn't listening.
yeah,
It was in my head, I wasn't feeling. And
yeah,
then, well, yeah, if you if you don't listen to the small signs,
that's
it has
right.
to become bigger.
Very good, very good. Yeah. And so, with your mom, just going back to your mom, did you
Yeah.
ever see her? What type of what did you observe about her as a mother? Did you see her go, 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 or was she a restful mother and then go, or was she always like resting? Like, what type of what energies did you observe in her?
Mostly go, go, go.
Okay.
Um, my mom has had some physical problems with her knee,
Mhm.
growing up, and then she had to rest, and that was really hard on her. Because
Mm,
she's also go, 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 and it is either or she was working at her job, or she was working at one of the clubs we were joining, or she was playing sports. There was hardly any rest.
okay.
The
Yeah.
only rest she and my dad had, was basically at night being together in front of the TV.
Yeah.
So things like meditation or yoga or exercise like that, she doesn't know.
Yeah.
And she still doesn't. And when I'm talking about it, she thinks it's really strange.
And so, how do you think her busyness um, impacted your life as you grew up, especially in your 20s? Like, do you feel that you were go, 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 go? Did you take on her
Oh,
patterning
definitely.
or? Yeah.
Definitely. And it was not only her. My dad is a go-getter as well. I
Mm,
mean, he studied hard. He uh, started out working on large ships, and then my mom got pregnant, and he decided, I don't want to do that because I want to be around my wife and my kid when she grows up. So he, well, went ashore
yeah.
and came live with my mother full time again. And he kept studying. I think I was like in my 20s when he finished his last study, because he was always striving for more, for better. And so yeah, that's what I've been, as we would say in Dutch, met de paplepel ingegoten. They put it in with the spoon. I don't know if there is an English saying for that, but that's how I'm basically told as small kid growing up.
Yeah.
Life is done.
Mm.
Always strive for better, more, and yeah.
And when did the change for you come in, do you think? How old were you when you started to like, really listen within and go with the flow of the energy and really see which doors were opening and which doors were closing? Like,
I think late 20.
okay, okay.
Yeah, really late, because I've always been wanting to do good by my parents
Mm,
and make changes of decisions off of that. Also in my career choice and in my educational choices. And that didn't work out. I got bored out within 2 years of working. And well, I had Hans by my side who said, be who you want to be. And I was so confused because I didn't know who that was.
mm,
And I had to really basically reinvent myself. And that's when I felt I needed to do good by me, and to do so I needed to feel what is it I need, what is it I want, and not basically doing what I thought other people expected of me.
mm, yeah. And then how old were you when you met Hans?
That was at my end of my 20s.
Okay. Yeah.
1996.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
And then if we were to describe femininity as being open, agreeable, cooperative, nurturing, creative, intuitive, going with the flow, they're just some of the words that come up for me. How in touch do you feel that, how in touch do you feel you are in your femininity right now?
Right now, today, very much. If you've asked me yesterday, I'd say not really, because I was really go, go, go. I have to take care of my daughter.
Yeah.
Even this morning, I mean, there is a reason I contacted you. What the fuck is this app doing? It's giving me the same thing again. It's wrong. Wait a minute. And you reflected back to me. And of course, this is universe telling me I need this relaxation and I can feel, and I even provide better for others when I provide for myself first. What is it I need?
Yeah.
So, today I'm really feeling the feminine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the white helps, by the way.
And that's funny with the, just to go back to the app, like, that probably hardly ever happens, to get the same forecast a day in a row. That's hilarious.
But it was immediately my mind thinking, this app has gone wrong. Not, I need to do something about it. No, this app has gone wrong. Did I put in the wrong day? Did it misunderstand me?
No, you attracted that.
And then you told me, but what do you intuitively say? And, yeah, of course, universe, thank you. And then I looked at my schedule and I was like, okay, what can I postpone? What can I delete? What can somebody else do?
Yeah.
And I cleared a lot of my plate and I had a lot of time to relax and enjoy my black and white drawing again. Because the last few days I have been doing it.
Yeah.
But it was basically felt like a task.
Yeah.
I have to do this because I committed to it. And today I really enjoyed doing it again. This is what it feels like when I'm truly connected with my creativity and that part of my femininity.
Mm. And do you
So,
oh, sorry, go.
Yeah, I truly feel it again today. Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you feel about your everyday activities? Like how much, like, is it in tune with the feminine side, do you think, in your day-to-day life? Do you think it's balanced, or do you think it's more on the feminine side, or is it more on the masculine side?
I think at the moment it's more on the masculine side because it has to do with me needing to grow my business to make the Spain dream come true. But I do try to incorporate some creativity in the way I put out our business.
Mm-hmm.
But we had this launch campaign going on, and that's a really masculine thing, I think. So I think it's more on the masculine side.
Okay.
I want it to be more feminine, and I'm the last, I think 1.5 weeks, I'm bringing it back to that again, like me sharing my dancing and stuff like that, because I feel the need to. Yeah. And I think that's because there has been some imbalance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then how would you describe, like, your personality, like, with the feminine? Like, do you think you're in your feminine and the vocabulary you use, like, you're open, nurturing, caring, cooperative, agreeable? Like, where's that in who you are as a person, as a woman?
I think I'm pretty feminine in that way.
Yeah.
But not when it comes to being agreeable. That I got triggered by that word because
why?
Well, it's one of these things I tell people. I coach people, and I tell them I do the things I do because I love them, I work with you because I really feel I can help you, but don't expect me to take your bullshit. I'm gonna call out your bullshit. I'm going to be honest that way, and well, that's not really agreeable, is it? Telling people when they're bullshitting you around, and it's not because I'm offended that they bullshit me, but when they bullshit me as being their coach, they're lying to themselves. And I care too much about my relationship with these people to have them lie to themselves.
Yeah.
So well, that's not agreeable, but I think I had good reason not to do so. That comes from a place of nurture, basically. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah, very good. I like that you can pinpoint that. That's very good. And then how would you describe your mother's femininity? How in touch do you think she is? In the sense of being open, agreeable, cooperative, going with the flow, intuitive, nurturing.
I would say not very much in touch with her feminine. She is nurturing, but that's more, of course, it's expected. Well, maybe agreeable she is, because she's doing what people expect of her, but not really in touch with herself. It's more doing things for a good sake. How do you call it? For the other, rather than for yourself.
Yeah. Interesting. And then how do you think your relationship with your father shaped your attitude towards men?
Ooh, hard question. I asked my mom when I was like 16 if he even loved me.
Ah, okay.
Being a lonely child, he also sometimes was the coach of my field hockey team. And when other girls' father was the coach, they were playing on the position they wanted to. When he was our coach, I would be the last one to get a position.
Right.
And I really asked my mom, why is he doing that? Does he even love me? And I now understand his reason, because he was so afraid that people would say she's the only child, she always gets her way, that he acted contrary to that.
Yeah.
But to me, it felt like he didn't care about me. And I know he's always really honest with me. And so that's basically what I expect from men, that they are honest with me. But that they're also not no, basically that they are honest with me, but you have to put in a hard time to get to understand them. Of course, the reason is mostly good, but it's different than we women think, and no, they don't give the words to that. Communication is also always a bit off.
And do you think, and so when you met Hans, you felt that he was an honest man?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. A really funny thing. People said to me, oh yeah, you fit well together. Yeah, Hans never gets angry. And I think we were together like 6 weeks or so when people told me that. I said, well, I have seen him angry. And that says more about me than it says about Hans. But yeah, he's not one to get angry really fast, but he can definitely get angry. And I knew that, and I still love him. And I still to this day do. But most people didn't see that about him.
Yeah, it's not until you like live with someone that, and then especially for a long time that your real true self actually comes out and plays.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then last question is, with all the work that you're doing on your feminine, and that can be the attraction to the masculine, whether that's like outer world success, what do you want to attract in your life right now? What are your dreams and your wishes?
Deep down, I only want the world to be a more kind place.
Mm-hmm.
I want this world to be kind so we can love and enjoy each other and our lives, and not only thrive for success and financial gain.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we need money to make the world go round, but it shouldn't be our first, how do you say it, first goal in life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And anything else?
I just want to be and enjoy.
Yeah.
I want to be and enjoy myself and enjoy the world. And I wish for everybody else to do the same, basically. It would be a much nicer place if everybody was like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ah, they're beautiful, beautiful wishes. And then you've also got you're making Spain happen next year. So yeah, that's amazing. That's going to be, a new journey for you and Hans to
Yeah.
embark on. So that's exciting.
Oh, it sure is. Yeah.
Yeah, something to look forward to. Ah, very good. Cool. Well, they were all the questions I had for you. Thank you so much for sharing, your past and your family, your parents and Hans. Yeah, it was so special. So special getting to know you on this deep level.